What's up, folks? Welcome to Mated Show. My name's Ethan.
Mike.
And we're here to sit down, talk Trek, and all that shit. Just going to let you know right off the bat, I kind of have COVID. So I am somewhat off my tits on dehydration and rapid heartbeat and high body temperature and all that. So,
right before the show, Ethan's
warning.
been giggling at my jokes, so it must be delirium as well.
Oh man, honestly, I feel like I've gone insane. But that might just be the fact that I've been locked in my flat for a few days and I've just been staring out the window at couples arguing, which has been great.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk Trek. We're here to first we're going to go through some. There's been some recent Trek developments.
Yep.
And then we're gonna take a look back over the previous season of Strange New Worlds. So first up, a bit of housekeeping.
Yeah.
We're thinking about doing a bit of a name change, and it has come to our attention that there are several, not only just one or two, but there's 5 Mated Show podcast or live streams out there.
Yeah.
So we're looking at we've got a nice list of some name ideas. We're going to be workshopping some ideas. But yeah, definitely let us know in the comments below.
If you've got any ideas to go for, please let us know. Ideally, one that hasn't been took before.
But should we read off some of the name ideas?
Well,
some of the ones that you liked.
I reckon we don't do the ones that we think we might go for. Just in case someone decides to beat us to the punch by being much better than us.
Yeah, and getting it work. So so the one that I'm very for, but that you are very against, is Shatner Pants.
Yeah.
Or Shatner Face.
Yeah. Also works for a TJ Hooker podcast if anyone is out there wanting to make a TJ Hooker podcast.
Yeah, or just, a podcast about felching.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's a great joke. You think it's an old joke. You think
it's an old joke.
It's a classic joke. If you don't know the joke is, I tried to start a line of women's underwear, but turns out Shatner Panties isn't a good name.
Da-dum-dum.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
We find that.
we were also, musing the Sub Rosa podcast and the Shades of Grey podcast, but realised that would be taken over by, we'd get a lot of people expecting 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
Constantly.
Yeah, or weird Bev fan fiction.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have our own Bev fan fiction. We don't need your Bev fan fiction. Thank you very much. No,
thank you. Oh man, what a great mystery solving show. Beverly Crusher seducing and or being seduced by a different ghost each week that she has to defeat.
Just do what was it, Albert Costello?
Yes,
the Mummy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just Bev gets seduced by the Mummy. Bev gets seduced by the Wolfman.
Turns around, the Mummy's coming out, and Bev turns around, and it's just ooh. At last, my love. My love has come along. But yeah, so we'll be taking a break after this week. And then when we come back in 2 weeks, we should have a new name.
Yes. And speaking about breaks, segueing into the Trek news.
Oh, beautiful.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Segue. I mean, I've just got a Segway parked up right here that I could
You
jump on.
are a broadcaster.
I know. Thank you very much. Um,
Oh.
Speaking of breaks, as I was saying, Trek is now on a break. Despite having 51 weeks or something of Trek, it was supposed to be this year, I believe.
Yeah.
We have now got a 6-week break between the end of Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks. And it was a good run there for a while.
I'm furious.
Yeah.
How dare you not give me all the Trek all the time?
Yeah. Especially after a good run. I was waking up, this morning because it's Thursday when we're recording. And we've had Lower Decks, we've had Prodigy, we've had Picard, we've had Discovery, we've had Strange New Worlds, pretty much in a continuous run other than maybe Christmas.
It's been great.
Yeah. It's been fantastic.
It's been great.
Yeah. And one day, Prodigy season, the second half of season 1 will come out. Because
Maybe.
What sort of gap is that between?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like it's hard doing. It's all computer animated.
Yeah, it's all good-looking computer animation, which takes longer than bad computer animation. The South Park boys knock it out in a week.
2D animation, which we are getting soon.
Woo!
How's that? Hey.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's a good segue back. Boom. So the date of that was what? August
25th.
25th. So back with
which is going to be a
Trek.
Thursday. So it looks like Thursday.
Yeah,
is Star Trek Day.
Woohoo!
Thursday's new Star Trek Day. Like
we can live with that.
Yeah.
Trek Days Thursday.
Yeah, mate.
On
Sorry, mate.
UPN.
Can't do it, mate. Can't do it on a Thursday, mate.
Yeah.
Star Trek Day, innit? Star Trek.
Yeah. Other stuff in the news was Eagle Moss, who do the miniatures. That they're not toys, as O'Brien would say. They're models, scale models. Is going in. Well, looks like it's going bankrupt. Really.
Yeah, man.
Revenue way down.
They've gone into administration, which is one of the very rare business words that I know. So, yeah, basically the government stepped in and gone, yeah, we're fucking selling off all your shit, mate.
Yep. Which is a crying shame because for models...
we've got a lot of shit to sell off. Lots of little...
Well, no, for Star Trek models, if you want reasonably high quality for the price, or reasonably good quality for the price, they were a good go-to. Especially if you wanted a Breen ship. Because who's making models of Breen ships other than these guys?
Yeah. It's like, I'll be honest, like the collecting the models of the ships, like I don't personally see a point. I don't see the point. I am, as I'm fond of reminding you and everyone, I am a poor. So I can't be like people say, like people have been saying, like, I'm sad, but my wallet's very happy that I'm not wasting all my money on thing. I'm like, yeah, them shits is a fucking waste of money, mate. Have you not seen THS 1331 when everyone's fucking buying bits of plastic to take home to put in the recycler? It's but I do like models, and the models that I have are usually like big ones or like models that I have to like assemble, so it's like a project or like a real display piece. Little models.
Yeah, they had obviously they had the bigger models as well, the yay big models. And they had a build your own Enterprise D going at the moment. So some people are going to be left with a half finished Enterprise D, which is a crying shame.
Oh shit, with the magazine thing. Oh man,
which is a crying shame.
Sad. That is sad. But they might like sell them. They might sell it off as assets, or probably not. Or
you would have thought they'd have the full set ready to go. It's just been in a slow release, like ready to print up.
Maybe we're assuming.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how that business model works.
But you've got to know.
That's how we cut costs. We only build one part at a time.
There's a guy going into a CAD program being like, "Oh shit! Now that needs to connect to there," and
Oh fuck. Yeah.
But I've got all the enterprises, or I've got all the mainline enterprises in the small form, and I had the ring ship type. It's in the motion picture in the background, and it's also in Star Trek Into Darkness. It is supposed to be a Enterprise before there was an Enterprise, but they probably have had a bit of trouble on the Trek side in the past because once you get past the first 100 issues and you get the Enterprises done, no one cares about subscribing, or fewer people care about subscribing to get a Breen ship or a Class J thing from TOS remastered. And once you've done it, most of the series, that's what people care for, and they unsubscribe. There was trouble people getting subscriptions. I know when I got my NX models delivered, I had 3 or 4 different models before both of the warp drives or warp nacelles were attached. So there was sometimes them being beaten up.
So, like, you can buy the ships like individually, though.
Yes, yeah,
you don't have to. Yeah,
you don't have to subscribe.
You save money if you subscribe.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And of course, it keeps a constant stream of revenue for them. When they could have just gone, okay, here's the mainline ships, and we'll do any others on request. Like once we get over 1,000 signatures, we'll make a new one. But no, they've made millions of ones that no one cares about, really. They've been real slow to the punch for Discovery. They were quite good for. Strange New Worlds, I wouldn't expect them to have any at the moment, of course. Lower Decks, they were fairly slow on, and they only really got the Cerritos out, I believe, and it took them a while to do it. So yeah, it's a bit of a loss for us, and it's a bit of a loss for other franchises that they were doing. So they were doing Doctor Who. They just started The Expanse. They've done some Alien stuff like the Nostromo. So
it's a shame. Like, it's a business that's been going for a long time, and it's a British business.
It's a British business. Yeah,
it's a good, solid British business. Yeah, that's it's a shame to see it go. Obviously, there's a lot of people that work there. Sad, sad for them. That sucks. It's never cool losing your job. Trust me, I've been fired so many times. But sad. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm sad about the people losing their jobs. I'm not so sad about the range being off the market, because like it's not good. Like it's not going to be for long. Like Star Trek is a marketable property.
Someone else will take the property very quickly, and possibly even Strange New Worlds might not be sold to them. So Lower Decks seemed to be sold to them. Discovery definitely was.
Shit, like this could mean that we get because if you ask me, Star Trek's merchandising is somewhat lacking.
Yeah.
And this could result in a lot more stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed, and touch wood.
No, knock on wood. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But shall we get into the meat?
Yeah, so the meat of the episode. Let's chow down on the steak.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Never heard of it.
Season 1. What did you think of Strange New Worlds?
Strange New Worlds. So, should we just say up top as well, if you haven't seen it all, maybe click away. We probably can't be bothered with spoilers and non-spoilers.
No, man, I've got COVID. I can't be asked dilly-dallying around with spoilers. That's why, like, earlier on, you mentioned some spoilery stuff for season 2, and I'm like, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Because, like, I do not have the spoons to dance around not saying something.
Yeah. So, general thoughts. Do you want to go first?
I'll tell you what, this season, it was the best first season of any Star Trek show ever, in my opinion. It's definitely the best of New Trek. Like, what a well executed show! What a well balanced show!
Yeah.
Like everything that you want in a Trek, like the right levels of, you know, utopian hopefulness, and also like, you know, introspective metaphor about, you know, our world that we live in, you know, looking back at us, holding a mirror up to society, as we're fond of saying.
Bloody society.
You know, great characters, great stories, great stuff.
Great stuff.
Great stuff.
Great stuff.
Yeah, man.
What
about
I'm
you?
Unsurprisingly on the same side. So incredibly strong first season. You know, certainly the strongest. The only first season I can think that might rival it would be TOS, and on average quality of the episode, Strange New Worlds beats first season of TOS. I think, for me at least. Lower Decks, I think, you know, had a real strong first season as well, but because it's animation, you've got an unlimited budget. Just ask the animators to draw more for free.
Lower Decks, you know, rates so high in the sort of, you know, in the rankings of first seasons of shows, just purely based on the fact that, like, Lower Decks it's executing a different thing. It's producing a different product, and it executes that thing well.
Yeah.
You know,
but I think kind of what you were saying in your overall points of it as well. Strange New Worlds definitely does better at the messages of an episode than Lower Decks does.
Yep.
You know, I can't remember any, but yeah.
No. Discovery, like there weren't really any messages in Lower Decks. All the messages are just like, oh, you shouldn't lie to your friends.
Yeah, about friendship. Yeah,
it's mostly about friendship and friend.
Yeah, and Picard for 2 seasons has had an overarching message of, oh, people die.
Trauma.
Death is sad. Trauma is bad.
Yeah. Discovery's had an overall theme of trauma.
Yeah.
For 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, the I would say the overarching theme of season 1 of Strange New Worlds really is like is about wrestling with yourself. And wrestling with, you know, your potential, and your, you know, coming to terms with your future, your immortality, your place in the universe.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely the place in the universe. I think,
yes,
because that's Uhura, that's Lon, that's you know, Una, that's Pike, certainly, that's Spock, certainly. You know, it's all people finding places in the universe within their own respective episodes. And I think we only get maybe 2 or 3 episodes about trauma at all. And because it is serialized, you can have 2 or 3 episodes because you don't get weighed down with it. Next week, there's a comedy episode. And we did have a good couple of comedy episodes this season. You know, more than
we did. We
more
had
than
some
I expected.
Great comedy episodes. We had 2 comedy episodes, and they were like in a 10 episode run, you would think 1 comedy episode would be enough. 2 comedy episodes that both had great depth to them as well.
Yeah,
they had depth, and like, even in spite of the fact of being comedy episodes, they also had the events of the episodes had, you know, had effect throughout the series. There were repercussions to the events of Spock and the fucking kingdom of
Elysian Kingdom.
The Elysium Kingdom.
I don't have the notes directly in front of me, of course. That's why I look down to remember.
Nah, man. Nah. You've got it scratched into your chair.
Yes, yeah. Do you think it lent maybe a bit heavy on the tropes or the staples? So we were kind of lining up and saying, or you were saying about a time travel episode at the end, and we kind of got that. There was a submarine one. There was a horror one that was just alien, really.
No. Honestly, like the I didn't even. I don't think I felt at any point like the use of the tropes. Like it never felt like I was even being slapped across the face with it.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars Rise of Skywalker is an assault of here's
good
the thing.
stuff on good stuff, isn't it? You know,
it's just like Rise of Skywalker. It's just like being slapped across the face with Star Wars. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
The entire season of Strange New Worlds, it's more just like it was Steve Shives said it in one of his videos for a review for a podcast. It's not about trying to reinvent the wheel, it's just about execution of the fundamentals.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it. It's retro sci-fi at this point, So yeah, that's fine to tread old tropes.
Yeah. And it's not like TNG season 1. As I say, out of the 25 episodes there, 18 are just, it's the naked now. The naked now and the naked then are the most apparent. But a load of them you can just go, it's this episode again, or it's the main core idea of that TOS episode translated into TNG.
Exactly.
I didn't feel, because it's obviously pulling from a wider array of Trek than TNG season 1 was. So it doesn't seem like that transparent. And we've had a good amount of time since we had the tropey episodes, really.
Yeah.
Maybe since Discovery, that time loop one with Harry Mudd.
Yeah. I mean, well, like Lower Decks does it, but like that's part of the charm of Lower Decks. And they do slap you across the face with it, but they do it in a they don't slap you across the face with it. They smush it in your face.
Yeah.
Like a pie to the face, because it's comedy.
Yeah. I think you possibly could do. Lower Decks had an episode where they couldn't get into a party and stuff like that. And that's so detached from, obviously that's a comedy setting, but that's so detached from anything Trek has done in the past that maybe you could do more of that in this. But I'm not concerned now in season 1. But possibly in season 2.
It's that's like an Enterprise side plot with Tucker and Reed.
Yeah. Those wily characters.
But like with Lower Decks, like, I've seen the fucking Lower Decks fucking writer's room lurking around in Star Trek shit posting. I know how they work. They're minding the groups. Like, it's all just like, what would it actually be like? What are the Lower Decks like? How hard is it to get into a party on a space station? What kind of drugs can you get on a starship in deep space?
Yeah. Who has to move all the special things that you collect from planets to storage? Yeah.
Exactly. Where does the jizz go?
Yeah.
In the holodeck.
What happens to crewman, Yeller, who stepped on something last week? What happened to him? Where does he go?
Where does he go?
Yeah.
To the koala, apparently.
Well, that or the Funny Farm, the episode where they collected all the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, that was a good one with the arm dude.
Yeah.
Third arm dude.
And like the Quaid, half boy, half man, Quaid man. So I think Lower Decks goes off the trail a bit more than Strange New Worlds does. But if Strange New Worlds keeps going like it is, Oh yeah,
Strange New Worlds has been so funny.
yeah.
Like it's like
Spock
I
'em
would say
Up
it's
should be one of the
as
top tier comedy episodes of Trek
yeah,
ever.
man.
Really.
Like as like I'd fucking Anson Mount in the Kingdom of the
Elysian
Elysium
Kingdom.
Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like that was so funny. That
Yeah.
episode would not have worked
No.
without Anson Mount giving his fucking like Mr. Smithers character 110%.
Can you imagine trying to get a Shatner to do that as well? Like Pat Stewart might
what do you
lean
mean
into it.
I'm not the king?
Yeah.
I must be the king, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean Bones is the king?
Yeah.
He's an asshole.
Wouldn't work.
No.
Probably Cisco would go in for it, or Avery Brooks, would go in for it. And Kate Mulgrew, maybe earlier on, would go in for it, as long as they didn't make Jerry Ryan Queen.
I could just picture Kate Mulgrew as Queen.
Yeah. If Jerry Ryan became Queen, though, she would not be happy.
We better get started, honey. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's
Close
got
enough.
like kind of like who is it that she talks like? What's the actress that she talks like? Where she's like, she got that transatlantic accent that they used to have in the old movies.
Yeah.
I like a slice of pecan pie.
Pecan
pie. Oh, now I'm just doing Shatner again.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we'll just go through.
Let's go for a couple of characters or something like that. Hey.
Like so, just generally, yeah. So another thing. Cut this last minute out.
Yeah.
Where I'm just kind of like trying to remember what we were talking about a second ago.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. There's some funny shit going down.
Yeah. And it doesn't railroad over canon that much, I don't think. There's you have to be very precious and do a fine line when it comes to stuff in canon. And we didn't see that many existing races that we knew.
No. One of my definite things for season 2, notes for season 2, if any of the producers of Star Trek Strange New Worlds are listening, we definitely need more alien babes. And hunks. More alien hunks, more alien babes.
More aliens.
More aliens, sexy or not sexy. But
yeah. Yeah, we could do with more aliens. The show is called Strange New Worlds, and we didn't meet that many new races.
Right. How many worlds did we go to?
I'll put it in the picture here, but someone's done a guide. Someone who's not happy with Strange New Worlds, or who's joking who's not happy with Strange New Worlds, who's doing, are they on a world? Is it strange? And is it new? For every episode on a rating, and they rated it something like 4 out of 10.
So, like, you've got episode 1, The Strange New World of Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
The episode title, Strange New Worlds. Episode 1 of Strange New Worlds. There's the Strange New World from that.
Yeah, it's strange. It's new. It's a world, or it's our world, but it's a new world. Fine.
The Illyrians, the planet they're on.
Yes, yeah. The Ghost of Illyria.
The one that the cult's comet was going to smash into.
Oh, we don't go there though. You only look down at bloody natives.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We see them. We see the natives.
Yeah.
Like cooing over their fucking children.
Yeah. Okay, I'll count it.
The fucking
Cloud City.
The health and safety nightmare planet. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Are we classing the space station with the park?
No.
I'm classing that as a world.
But it's not strange at all.
It's a realm.
Oh.
It's
it's not a world and it's not strange.
It's a place.
Yeah.
It's a place.
Okay. There was the crash ship that had the Gorn on. That was a world, even though it was uninhabited other than the crash ship. So
Are we counting?
Elysian Kingdom. No, that wasn't a world.
the strangest new world of all, the world of magic.
That wasn't a
appeared
world.
as if from nowhere. I have created this world for you on your ship.
That's not a world other than a world of imagination.
Oh no, it's the the Nebula was a potential predator, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's almost as many
I couldn't even get it out.
weird things with kids as there are strange new worlds in this series, which probably you want to fix in the next.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not have as many children die, because there's 5 different kinds of children dying. Or
this show hates children in the same way that Star Wars hates animals.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So let's do a quick list off.
We've got 7 strange new worlds. How many dead fucking kids have we got? We've got the 3 that Pike has a vision of. We've got the first servant.
Well, 2 Pike says he doesn't save out of 8. So we know 2.
I thought it was 3.
No, it's 2 that definitely die. That's a Quality of Mercy last episode. Children of the Comet. That has a woman fawning over her dying child at the start, who then gets water, I suppose.
That kid's a save. That kid's a save.
Ghost Valeria.
So back to 2.
That whole planet, including the children,
kids, probably.
Yeah, definitely dead kids.
Like in my count, what I'm going to do in that is, however high we count to, I'm just going to add plus.
Yeah,
just going to add plus to the end.
Yeah,
just going to add plus to the end for the ghost. So we're still at 2.
Okay. So how about, let's see, there was the ghost,
the first servant.
Yeah. And the previous first servant who got shoveled out.
And previous first servant.
Yeah.
The La'an's brother.
Yeah.
The Gorn children. That's
there were
9.
4 of them. Yeah.
That's 9 plus. So we've already had more dead children.
And Mbenga's kid.
Mbenga's kid
went off with a possible paedophile Nebula.
Well, yeah, potential predator that has potentially groomed that child over potentially decades. They live in a realm. She ascended, and if we are stretching the meaning, she died.
Yeah.
I don't think her physical body is weighing her down anymore.
No. And we are presented in the show as she comes back older and presents herself to her father. There's nothing that says the Nebula isn't just going like, I tell you what,
I ate her
to save some hassle.
This is a puppet. I found a picture of your wife.
Yeah. Isn't it suspicious that she looks very much like your wife, your dead wife?
Sound.
Yeah.
You buy that? Sound. Yeah. She was delicious.
Yeah. So that's 10 dead kids at least.
10 dead kids. Aliens kid. The girl from Aliens.
Oh, Newt. She didn't die, but she had a horrible
the
time.
Death of her innocence.
Yes. Yeah.
Which isn't that really the worst death of all? No, it's not. It's the
real
first
death.
Servants.
Yeah.
It's the first servant's death.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, 10 dead kids and only 7 strange new worlds.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Hey, man, I think that's the another overarching meaning of the series, which is like I was so very fond of shouting a few episodes ago, abort that motherfucking Gorn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get that shit.
You know, kids have to die. Apparently, according to the show. Yeah, you see Pike at the end of the last episode where he commits to the fate where 2 kids die, and he's smiling and walking around the bridge and finger gunning people.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Now that I've decided not to worry about it, I'm not worrying about it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, man, fuck them kids.
So yeah.
Just joking. Children of the future.
Yeah. Should we talk about cast and characters?
Let's go to all in all. So you've got there's definitely like an inner circle and an outer circle for this season. Way on the outside is Ortegas.
Sorry, Ortegas.
Sorry, Ortegas. I thought you were gonna die.
Yeah.
We didn't learn enough about Ortegas.
No.
But Ortegas is cool. Cut the
Yeah.
tension. Useful character. Looking forward to maybe learning a bit more about Ortegas.
Yeah.
Then in the kind of outer circle, we've got the supporting cast, which I'm kind of classing as like Chapel, Hema, Uhura.
I put Chapel and Uhura so much higher than Mbenga and Hema.
I think they're all about the same flavor.
Hema's in 3 episodes or 4 episodes.
Yeah, but like Uhura, is
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Like it's things.
Yeah.
And then in the core we've got Pike, Spock, Una, La'an.
Yeah.
As the kind of the I wouldn't say the Kirk, Spock, and Bones, but more the Picard, Riker, Troy, and Worf.
Yeah, I don't think Una was given half enough to be in a circle. If you get what I mean.
La'an is Strange New Worlds is Worf.
Yeah.
Got enough this season. I would imagine that's we're gonna get more.
Yeah.
Lots more.
Well, it ends on a stinger for us, so it's got to be. We've got to follow up that story somewhere.
Yeah, but yeah, in general, like, so should we go? We'll go Prince. We'll go that core 4 first.
Yeah. So Anson Mount.
Anson Mount as Pike is just
incredible. Again, how did they put him in Inhumans and make him such a nothing and make that show so poor when he bleeds charisma in this?
Totally. Like, such a shame.
Yeah.
But like, fuck it. Who gives a fuck about Inhumans? Pike is amazing.
Yeah.
What a like such a constant leader. He's constantly leading by example.
Yeah.
He's a good person.
Yeah. He's obviously not, to me, he's obviously not the Cage Pike.
No.
It's a almost full reboot of that character. Where it's difficult to fit him in the same way. Oh, I can't get around having women on my bridge. It's forgotten about all that stuff. He's got a much better hairline. He's much more personable. He's a captain you want to serve under. He's fantastic. He raises his voice once. He takes, he asks questions. What are your opinions on this? Okay, let's do that. He's a fucking an avatar of teamwork. He is the boss of team building. Yeah.
Like, gosh, to have a manager like that in any of the establishments I've worked in, I probably wouldn't have been fired from half of them.
Yeah. And even not only cooking and getting to know the crew and stuff like that, but when someone like Una says, I don't know if I'm cut out to be here, and it's like, you're in a real prestigious place. You're in the equivalent of like a really hard to get into internship, and you're saying, I don't know if I want to be here. And it's like, no, do what's best for you. We'll be very happy to have you here, but if you don't want to stay here, do what's best for you, and hope you find what you're after.
But it's the way he says it.
Yeah,
it's the way he says it, and he says it in such a way that it just every time he says that to Uhura or La'an or Una, like it's like he's saying like, yeah, if you want to do that, then you can do that.
Yeah.
Or you could be amazing.
Hmm.
He and he says it to he takes the same tact with those guys. I'm just realizing now. He takes the same tack when he's in diplomatic situations as well. It's like, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Or like you could you could do the stupid self-destructive thing, or you could accept help. You know, that we are offering.
Yeah.
You know, you could go down the self-destructive loner route, or you could build a community.
Yeah.
Where you are. You know,
and Star Trek captains always offer help to their defeated enemies. You know, it's. I was only watching Search for Spock today, and when Krug is hanging off the side of that thing, Kirk says, "You know, give me your hand and I'll help you up."
After he murdered his son.
After he murdered his son.
Bastards, you murdered my son.
Reboot Kirk offers assistance to I'm blanking on his name. Nero. He says, you know, drop your shields, we'll beam you across. And Nero's like, no. You know, you offer help to your defeated enemy. Yeah. We'll transport you over. No, it's not our way. Okay.
Fine, go fuck yourself then.
Yeah. Just because you defeated them doesn't mean you need to revel in it, really. You can still be better than just living in their defeat. So, you know, fantastic. Exemplifying, you know, you can see why in Disco season 2 they talk about taking them away from the Klingon War, because if they lost, they wanted the best of the Federation to survive. Because he exemplifies, you know, that's sort of piece behind him.
Absolutely. And charming.
Oh yeah.
Peaceable and just so charming.
And charming fantastic hair.
Such fantastic hair. And like, you know, the episode where they start a mutiny on the Serene Squall, like, I fully believe that is a move that Pike has. It's like, right, listen, I'm just gonna do the we'll be out of here in no time.
Yeah. And he does the 80s, you know, movie trope of I've got a superpower. You know, it's not skateboarding or whatever. It's not Back to the Future where you can skateboard through something. It is I can cook. I'm a damn fine cook. I will cook.
What a great like, you know, Riker's got his trombone, he's got his bone.
Yeah.
Picard's got being a nerd. Fucking Paris has the 20th century, which is the vaguest focus. Pike's got cooking, being a host, being, you know, amenable.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Amenable.
Yeah,
amenable.
I
have COVID.
You're there.
Spock, Ethan Peck's fantastic.
He talks a bit fast for Nimoy. When you compare it side on side, he talks, you know, damn quick, whereas Nimoy was a bit structured. It's a bit more emotional than Nimoy was, but that's fine. You know, the cage had him smiling anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. It's you know, it's good that they've not started with Spock at his, you know, later point.
Yeah.
Now we can progress to that point. We've got to kind of take it as far away from that point as you can. You know?
Yeah. So that's all good on there. You can definitely see because there's a couple of connections in the show, like pairings, and the Spock Pike connection throughout is felt very heavily, and you can understand why Spock is willing to be put to death. The one thing that the Federation will put you to death for is going to a planet.
And he's willing to do it. Like, that last moment in the last episode with Chris and Spock, where they tell each other that they're both very important to one another.
Yeah,
and it's a very touching moment.
Yeah,
and it's great stuff.
It's great.
I like that with Spock. We've managed to flesh out quite a lot about Vulcan culture.
Yeah.
Like it's always been presented as kind of, you know, when you look back at, TOS, it's kind of camp and silly.
Mm-hmm.
Enterprise, it's a bit kind of tedious.
Yeah.
The Vulcan stuff, it's a bit kind of like one note. This series managed to introduce a fair amount of nuance to Vulcan society and Vulcan culture.
Yeah.
I think that it's done a great job of highlighting the fact about Vulcans, which is that they are not emotionless.
Yeah.
They have control of their emotions.
Mm.
And like this series has done a really good job of showing Vulcan romantic relationships
Yeah.
and showing some of their attitudes towards some of their political attitudes towards emotion and
people who don't
radicalism.
believe in the faith as well. That radicalism, as you were saying. It's this person doesn't believe in being 100% logical. They're weird, and we'll put them in a spa facility to kind of get better. A spa facility. We'll take them off the map into a spa.
Yes, we're taking them to Center Parks.
Yeah,
taking them to Center Park. It's not a prison. They can do painting,
but some of them are in cells. It's not a prison,
yes,
but some of them are in cells.
Some are doing paintings in cells.
Yeah, because God knows, I wasn't expecting T'Pring for more than one episode in this.
No, I definitely wasn't expecting T'Pring to have the opening log for one of the episodes.
Yeah,
that was a big surprise.
Yeah,
and
above
obviously
the crew members, above some crew members, we get it. We get T'Pring in there.
Hammer didn't get one. Ortegas didn't get one.
George Kirk, my boy George Kirk didn't get one.
George Kirk didn't get one.
Yeah.
Also big reveal while we're talking about Spock. Big reveal for the the Serene Squall episode. We got a little taste of Spock's brother Cyborg.
Yeah,
that's cool. Little laying some foundations down for that storyline to come back. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, that'll be back. Una. Do you want to talk about Una? Because I don't think she was handled amazingly in the series.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Great as far as white people race allegories go. Sure. This fucking using this big, tall Scandinavian motherfucker as a fucking race allegory is. I mean, it's a move. It's definitely a move. It's definitely a move Trek has made. It's definitely another Trek trope. Good old TOS Trek trope.
Yeah. I just have in my mind, other than the Ghost of Illyria, it was mainly Una, you run the con and we'll do other stuff on the ship. Una, you do this and we'll do other stuff.
Yep.
And to be fair, that's how she was used in The Cage, where Pike was like, no, I need my best officer in charge while I do other stuff. But it's kind of weak sauce for the character.
Yeah, but in The Cage, he was like, I need my best officer, which is this fucking woman.
Yeah. Looking into the camera and saying, take that 60s. But I don't think she had a whole lot to do this season at all. But beyond the Ghost of Illyria. So I'd kind of like a bit more from her.
Well, the series ends with Una getting fucking picked up by ice. So presumably that's how next season will open.
Yeah, I'm all up for that. I'm all up for a. I've got in my what hopes for season 2, what I'd like out of that. So I won't talk too much on that now. But I hope it opens with a bit of Una stuff.
I mean, obviously, the stuff that we do get of Una is all good stuff.
Yeah.
Just didn't get enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And, 10 episode run, I suppose. It's not like the days of 26 episodes a season, sadly, where you could just work an actor 18 hours a day until they produced stuff for you.
No. Now they can organize
Damn them.
No, they can organize and stage walkouts and shit.
Yeah.
I will say, I still think that her nickname of the place where fun goes to die is just completely unwarranted, horrible.
Yeah.
Like, she does not deserve that nickname. She's fun.
People have different ideas of fun. Why do you need to fit in a box of different fun?
And as I said before, if I found out that people were saying that about me, I would cry.
Yeah. Especially
but
like
luckily,
your friend.
No one says that about me because I'm fucking silly.
Yay.
I'm dead silly, me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an episode of her I forgot where it's where she does the thingy list with the bingo with
I think it's in Spock and Mark. That's the comedy episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about La'an? So the next person.
Yeah,
obviously introduced as a Noonien Singh, and we were like,
yes,
how's this going to work?
Yeah, like La'an is like the most kind of, probably arguably like the newest character who we get the most of. You know, so we get a lot of Uhura, but obviously we know Uhura. La'an is a totally new character, and we get a lot of her, and really, obviously she's got a pretty sad backstory, but pretty well developed. It comes back through La'an's kind of vendetta. We get a lot of extra little Gorn Easter eggs. Not even Easter eggs, full on episodes about the Gorn. People that, again, with people getting upset about continuity, about whether or not we know about the Gorn.
We do know.
Don't matter, mate.
Yeah.
Don't matter. Don't matter.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
I mean, she says it in the episode where people have seen the Gorn before, or live adult Gorn. They just haven't walked away from it. People die. That's fine. That explains away how you can still have Gorn and have a character that's affected by the Gorn in her history and survive.
Yeah.
And children Gorn, that's the first time we've seen newborn Gorn. Maybe they slow down. It's like I'm sure some sort of lizard or whatever slows down with age as their scales harden up.
Yeah, man. Some big lizards are only fast underwater.
Yeah.
Although, from what I hear, actually, alligators can be pretty fast, and Komodo dragons.
Yeah.
And apparently, bears climb faster than they can run. Crazy. And a swift can fly faster than a cheetah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was very, very lightly done as well, her augment status, where the only bit we get really is in her reaction to Una coming out as kind of an augment.
Because we get a little bit more sort of depth added to the whole Federation bullshit law against genetic modifications, which I think is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's literally Nurse Chapel's fucking speciality.
Yeah. That speciality lasted for a whole episode, didn't it?
Yeah, that certainly did last one whole episode.
Yeah.
Should we have we said enough about La'an?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
La'an's cool.
Yeah.
La'an's cool and tough and British.
And her in the dress up episode, fantastic.
Oh, Primo. Yes.
Chef's kiss.
Very silly. Again, if Anson Mount bringing it 110%, I don't think that any of the rest of the cast would have brought it quite like that if it hadn't been for Anson Mount.
Yeah.
He's well, maybe I'm just hero worshipping him somewhat.
Should we do Chapel maybe?
Chapel, yeah, we just mentioned Chapel. Chapel has a speciality for one whole episode, and then spends the rest of the season just being a cool guy.
Yeah.
Obviously got her looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah, because that she was kind of one note or zero point 0.1 note in TOS, and she's barely in the TOS movies where it is, oh Spark, aren't you dreamy? Oh Spark, I'll give you a love potion in the animated series. I will pretty much rape you. Love potion stories are terrible. I will pretty much rape you by giving you a love potion. So we're getting a bit of backstory on that at the moment that it's kind of like lost love. She's Jim and Spock is Pam, season 1 kind of stuff of The Office. So
sort of.
Yeah,
she reminds me of a tattooist. She reminds me of a couple of tattoo artists that I've had. She's got some, but she's got that kind of almost not quite a hairdresser thing of talking to people, but also she's into body modification and she's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Feisty.
Yeah. So much more personality than ever got in TOS. So much more.
But lots more room because we still don't know much about Chapel. We don't know much about her past. We don't know whether or not she's got an android husband off somewhere yet.
Come on, season 2.
Maybe she picks that up at some point.
Yeah.
Should we do Hemmer?
Died too soon.
Oh boy, Hemmer.
Mate.
Rest in peace, man.
In the arms in peace, brother. Of the angels.
And he just
yeah.
Just a great introduction of kind of curmudgeon-y, engineer.
Yeah.
Who just the more we had of him, the more we got of him. Where he's got that kind of gruff exterior, but what a true heart of gold.
Yeah.
He reminds.
See, I don't think that the character is consistent in the episodes he's in, which is saying something for the amount of episodes that he's actually in, because he's kind of gruff and half standoffish at the start, and then he's doing wizard stuff. It's like, oh, what do you call?
He's a head
wizard.
chef. He just reminds me of a head. He reminds me of. I think I've said it before. He reminds me of a couple of chefs that I've worked with.
Yeah.
He's gruff, curmudgeon-y, but then when you're on break having a fag, you're doing well.
Yeah,
doing well. Cheers for that. Yeah, cheers. You're a good lad.
The him and Uhura pairing was quite nice.
Yeah. Because obviously he's got that heart of gold, and it comes into play with Uhura quite a lot. She really needed him.
Yeah.
Good guy. And speaking of Uhura, I think we might be rushing along because we
need to rush. We've got other things to record.
We've got some more stuff to do.
Yeah, Uhura, go.
Uhura, great. Just to go back to Elysium again, I loved her as a real,
evil queen,
evil camp, Wicked Witch of the West kind of villain. That was fun. But aside from that, throughout the rest of the series, a great. Very much in keeping with that theme of, looking for, one's place in the universe. That is, that's where Uhura's at.
Yeah, definitely. It's she's not the TOS Uhura yet, other than she can sing. So it was nice to bring that in, and I should have said it in the episode where I
should have said it. Should have made that prediction.
I should have predicted it. But she's on a movement, and you see her rotating through different roles because she's on this internship. So she does engineering, she does comms, she does negotiation stuff. She's where she needs to be. Diplomacy stuff. She's where she needs to be. Fantastic stuff, and we'll get to see more of her hopefully.
Well, we know we will. We've got at least 7 more years of Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Mbenga. Weird storyline. Weird character arc.
And so much of it. And Mbenga's the one that kind of falls a bit flat that we actually get in episode 4. Because he has this kid which is, an interesting story, and he's really protective of the transporter. And then he goes fishing away from the transporter, and Una and Lana playing with a transporter. And then, you think this is going to be an ongoing thing about how he's going to help his kid, and it's going to go for a couple of seasons, solved in his next episode, really.
Yeah, he's kind of over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lets his kid go with random child, whatever.
Yeah, it's jumping back to the status quo that is on par with like Uhura losing her memory.
Yeah.
And
getting it back suddenly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Move on.
Yeah. So
fuck that kid.
I mean, I just hope that they haven't had a chance to yet, but they show him. They have episodes with him where him and his kid aren't the only thing for him. He's got to have a life outside of that, and they've got to show, not necessarily him dealing with the loss of a kid, his kid to this Nebula monster, but he's got to have other things in his life now, which he may not have done. So that sort of growth I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Maybe you could try ice fishing.
Yeah. Salmon fishing in the Yemen. Ortegas?
Ortegas, great. Ortegas is a good one to kind of end going through the characters on, because we didn't really get much of Ortegas, and I'm looking forward to whether or not they make better use of Ortegas in season 2.
Yeah. She can't just be there for quips. She needs to be there for when you're giving every other character some time. You need to give the quip person time as well. Otherwise, it just looks a bit weird.
We didn't get enough. We didn't get enough of Ortegas, which made me think that she was going to die. I'll be honest. I'm more convinced now. I'm convinced now more than ever that Ortegas will die. It just now if we learn more about Ortegas through season 2, that's 2 years of a parasocial relationship for people to build with the character.
Yeah.
For the gut punch of when they die.
I think storytelling wise, they want to keep her on for comedy's sake. She can be the comedy voice of the writer. If everything else is silent, she could be like, ooh,
I just thought, like, Pike's not going to see Ortegas' death coming because he saw Ortegas in the alternate timeline future.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Doomed.
Shouldn't put that fucking red shirt on, should you?
No.
Season 2.
Hopes and dreams for season 2.
Hopes and dreams for season 2. Mine are pretty simple. Klingons.
Yep.
Klingons.
I'd like to see.
Klingons.
I've got in my notes for Klingons, not necessarily Koroth or Kang, but if we get them, that's all good.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. L'Rell, the actor for L'Rell, is still around, obviously. The Queen from Discovery. The mother. It would be interesting, I think, to show, because we probably don't want to show that version of Klingons. So my writing around it is to show them L'Rell and other Klingons being affected by the virus and their heads getting smaller. You see them one season, you see them and they're just Star Trek 4 and 5, Voyage Home and Final Frontier, whatever it is. The Klingon head shape is a lot smaller than TNG. So just go with that sort of head shape, and then year by year, just get them smaller until they look completely flat-headed Klingons, and they've been affected by the virus and it's ruining the society or whatever. Go for it.
I'm cool with that. I'd like I personally, if we're gonna make a point of making the Klingons look superhuman looking.
Yeah,
I think a cool way to go about it would be to work in the whole thing that with Ash Tyler being made to look human. I think it'd be interesting if there was maybe like if maybe he wasn't the only one.
Well, there's at
For
least
all
one
we
more.
know, yeah. Is there?
Trials and Tribulations.
Oh yeah. So
Troubles.
yeah, exactly. So like for all we know, there is a bunch of like and that could be like a cool like Manchurian Candidate style thing going on. Maybe there's like a fucking fuckload of them.
Yeah.
And that in one of the books, like they talk about how like a lot of the human-looking Klingons are kind of relegated to the outer reaches of Klingon space because no one wants to look at them. So like, have some of that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all good. And either way, at the very minimum, if you're going to show Klingons and you don't want to kill off the Discovery design, have the different designs in there. Have a Discovery Klingon, have a more TNG Klingon, and have a flat air head.
Yeah, it doesn't.
The guy, like that.
Yeah, you don't even need to. Like, I'm cool with someone like who just looks like a Klingon but has short hair.
Yeah.
Like you can even like have forehead ridges and everything. Just give them short hair and stick them in like a cool chainmail tank top.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that hard, guys. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I'm not fussed at. I was going to say I'm not too fussed. I'm not fussed at all.
Yeah.
About the continuity for the look of the Klingons. As far as I'm concerned, they all look the same. Kor looks the same as he did in TOS, and he looks exactly the same in DS9, and there is a strong family resemblance between him and his cousin, maybe, Cole, in season 1 of Discovery.
No, but Enterprise.
They're cousins. There's a strong family resemblance.
The augment virus. So
whatever.
He can't look like it through DS9, whatever. I had another one. Obviously, start the season saving Una. Maybe courtroom drama.
Jailbreak, baby.
Well, we can even have a two-parter. Courtroom drama. Jailbreak. We didn't have any courtroom dramas, I don't think, this season. It
writes itself.
Yeah. It's measure of a man, but measure of a woman.
Measure of a Una.
Yeah.
What else? What?
Maybe a Badmiral.
A Badmiral. We could. Yeah. I tell you what. I bet
if we have a courtroom drama, then we can have a Badmiral.
Yes, absolutely. That could be like. That could be a strange new world to go to where there's a Badmiral getting up to no good.
Yeah. They could be on another one of my a duplicate Earth or a Nazi planet.
Oh, yep. Nazis would be great.
Again, clip this. I'm going to clip this and then use it as the trailer of the show.
That would be great. Yeah. I love it when Star Trek does Nazis.
Yeah. We get them a fair bit, so we can have them again.
Because it's always just, look at this fucking Nazi. What a prick.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What about, I had one as a wide call, the invention of time travel in the universe. So
the whip, the solar whip.
Yeah. In TOS, it's taken as standard that you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just have Pike do that.
They actually just had that scene in the Orville a couple of weeks ago.
Did they?
Yeah, and like
the invention of it.
Astro, yeah, they do that move to go forwards in time.
Okay.
But the thing is, it would only work going forwards in time.
Yeah.
They have a different time travel method to get back in time.
Yeah.
But they use the solar whip to go forwards in time, and like loads of like physicists and space nerds shat their pants. The Shatner pants. Because it was like super realistic, and they portrayed like the redshift, because like what happens when you travel. The faster you go, like light does this weird thing where it like looks like it tilts towards you, and it tilts red, and then like when the camera's looking behind, it's all green. So it's like blue there, red here, green over there.
Yeah.
So they would have to do it better than the Orville.
They can try.
You haven't seen the Orville.
I've seen some of it. I've seen some of the first season. Didn't like it.
You gotta get on that shit, man.
Yeah. Because we're running out of time. Let me go heavy, and then I'll lighten it up. A Roe versus Wade episode that the writers have had time now.
I think it's to be expected. 100%. There's definitely going to be a Roe versus Wade episode.
Because Star Trek should be a mirror to the issues of the day, and it's an issue of the day. Big issue of the day.
Yeah. I won't be surprised if there was some Ukraine allegories. Star Trek, TOS was, pretty heavily built on allegories for the Cold War and for, and talking about World War II shit.
Yeah.
And that was 30 years later. It's I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe get a large planet invade one large strange new world invading a small strange new world.
Yeah. Use the Klingons again. They were an allegory for Russian and China and everyone that was in the East, really.
Yeah, man, we have come in so many ways. Have we come full circle?
Full circle. On
so many ways.
On the more comedy to line it up, we can have a comedy episode of Sam Kirk nearly dying.
We did really talk about Sam Kirk. Is definitely one of my favorite characters of the series. His fucking aliens moment, his game over man moment made me laugh.
Yeah.
What doofus.
Yeah. And my other one for a minor comedy one, have the actors from Lower Decks in the background and then have a Lower Decks episode where they do Trials and Tribulations.
Yeah,
to
Pikes. Yeah.
So in Lower Decks, it's animated. In Strange New World, you see the actors.
Literally just like in one scene.
Yeah, just in the background.
Yeah, just in the background and they're like,
yeah.
That's Pike. Mariner's like, he's fit.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Boiler's like, same.
What else have I got? Jeffrey Combs in Everything and Anything.
Give us Jeffrey Combs. Where was Jeffrey
Where
Combs?
was he?
Where was he? Why wasn't he there?
We also didn't have Riker directing at all for the first time in live action. That's for a crazy. Series in a good long while.
No. Although, we haven't really talked about any of the production crew, really, but
no,
everyone did a fucking bang up job.
Yeah,
well done.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
I've listed more crew on the ship because a minor gripe of mine is that other than the bridge crew, the ship does feel a bit empty. It gets overrun by the pirates, and you see some other crew, maybe 5 other crewmen, and Mitchell. then they get taken to a cage, and it's only the bridge crew in the cage. So I'd quite like to see, and it's some probably
more people in the background.
Yeah, it's probably a COVID thing where you can make a set easier.
A COVID thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I promise we have more than just these 12 guys.
Yeah.
That was a bit Kirk there.
Yeah.
More than just these 12 guys.
And then I've got new TOS style ships, other than ones that look exactly like the Constitution. I've got races, maybe the Cetaceans, like Mrez, or Adhesians, like Arex, Third Arm.
Yeah, man, some of those guys. Some Saurians.
Yeah.
Lizard dudes.
Tellarites. Tellarites, I think, get a bum deal out of the founding race of the Federation. They're in a dozen episodes, maybe.
Greys. Grey aliens from Zeta Reticuli.
Yeah.
Big old heads, big old eyes.
Xindi. I'd quite like Xindi back, just Xindi to show that they survived.
Yeah. Xindi would be cool.
Yeah. So they're my quickly listed. maybe not season 2, maybe it's a season 3 thing, but Chapel meeting Corby and having to Pring have to help her get with Roger Corby, her husband. So just because they're a weird one to couple up.
Yeah.
Two fancies of Spock.
Like, yeah. I think, like, all in all, like, I said at the start of this season, I'm just kind of looking forward for what Strange New Worlds has in store for me, and in general, I guess I'm looking forward to the same in season 2.
Yeah,
I don't, like, I wasn't. Like, this season has been so good, and I have enjoyed every episode. There's been episodes that I've enjoyed less, but that by no means does that mean I didn't enjoy the episode.
Yeah.
So and I have faith that they will deliver again.
Faith
in
of the
season
heart.
2. I've got faith of the heart. I've got
Yeah.
faith of the heart.
Yeah.
We know that we're going to get some more Kirk action.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about Kirk, but like, show's not about Kirk; it's about Pike.
Yeah,
Pike
and the Kirk.
Pike
so
and boys.
In the interviews following last episode, the interviews were saying, "Well, he's not Kirk. He's an alternate future Kirk, or he's an alternate TOS Kirk. So the Kirk we get will be different to
that Kirk that we saw in the last episode.
Yeah,
does not exist.
No. Do you want me to? You can take out your headphones if you would like, but
no.
Roll through the spoilers.
Give me the stuff. So, spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert for season 2 from interviews and stuff like that.
Everybody, get out of the room.
So very quickly, it doesn't look like we're getting Scotty in season 2.
Sad.
Yeah, in interviews with the writers saying, we've got other places to go before that. We've already seen set photos of La'an and Kirk, so maybe a bit of La'an on the Farragut. They had a big reveal of the bar set last week, or in this last week, and I was like, that was in the first episode. We just haven't had anything set there. It was when it was flashing through the ship. So no idea what's going on there. It looked like Uhura was set up for having a wig in one of the behind the scenes photos for season 2. So we might get Uhura with more hair. Cool. We were told that it's not necessarily a season per year. So we're about 6 years away from the accident, or 5 years, 5-6 years away from when Pike gives up the ship. But it could be 20 seasons. It could be 2 seasons. It's just the way it goes.
Yeah, time is an illusion.
Well, Voyager season 1 and 2 happen over like 4 months. So fine, whatever.
What?
There's precedent for it before.
What?
They say it. They say it during it. And last spoiler is the actor for Hemmer, which is Bruce Horax, I think. They already have plans to bring back in something.
Cool.
So might be Hemmer in a flashback. Might be Hemmer's brother.
Great. Yeah, man.
Might be like Nemmer.
Hummer.
Yeah.
Hummer, he comes riding in a big old fucking Jeep.
Yeah. So, well, they're these spoilers, so I'll put an end spoiler thing here. There we go. But all fun to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. Mostly just fucking wardrobe stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. So, have we got anything else to say?
I've got nothing else other than to say, it was a thoroughly enjoyable show.
Great
my favorite
show.
live action Trek since 2005. Yep.
Best of new Trek by far. Best of new Trek.
Yeah.
So yeah, with the closing of season 1 of Strange New Worlds, I guess we bring an end to season 1 of Mated Show.
And the whole end of Mated Show.
The final season of Mated Show.
We'll be back with a different name at some point.
We'll be back with a different name. And we're going to be once we have settled on that name, we'll be putting that shit out on Spotify.
Yeah.
So you can check us out there. You can check me out at Ethan A. Lunn on TikTok. Don't look for me on any other social media. Leave me alone.
And you can catch me on Facebook more than anything in the Mate It Show Facebook group. I also somehow had a video this week be picked up by Gizmodo.
Yeah, dude, that's cool as hell.
Christ only knows how. I shared it to 280 people, and now I have over 30,000 views on it. So
that's enough, man.
That's interesting. And that was under the YouTube channel Mick, M-I-K, Smart 5 on YouTube. And it's a comparison between scenes in Balance of Terror and the Quality of Mercy. So if you want to see people doing the same lines at the same time, have a check out of that.
That's the thing that people want to see.
Yeah. I'm amazed I'm the only one who did it, apparently. I'm amazed.
It's weird.
Yeah. Who knew?
But with that, we'll bring this shit to a close.
Yeah.
And I'll sign off as I normally do. Live long and prosper, motherfuckers.
And peace and long life, double dumbasses.
Double dumbass on you.
Double dumbass on you.